Oh, yeah. Here we can see the Donald being interviewed on the Wendy show here. And you can already see him doing the upside down, pyramid, all seeing eye. He loves to do that. It's one of his favorite Illuminati hand gestures. And let's see. Let's see what Daddy Dearest has to say here.
We want to know a little bit more about you guys, so we play this game here. It's called Fave 5. I'll ask the question. Ivanka, you answer first, and then Dad, you answer also.
This is tough.
Okay, Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex.
Ooh, nothing odd here, is there? Oh, God. You're looking at a guy who has been having sex with his daughter for a long, long time.
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Oh, it's so weird.
He's been banging her since she's been, what, 11?
Yeah.
What a joke.
Well, you're known for saying outrageous
And these fool sheep that think he's a good guy.
My daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
In this charade that Trump's chumps always seem to fall for. I mean, you talk about desperate.
So it's very, very sad. Okay. Now forget Soros. Leave him alone.
Yeah, leave him alone.
He's got enough problems.
Oh, yeah, he's got
She goes, what about Soros? Let's talk about somebody else. Okay,
we're going to show you what. Okay, now let's talk about why Trump was defending George Soros. Because he's a puppet of George Soros. And we're going to get into that right now. And he spent Christmas Eve with George Soros. And, I'm going to tell you what this really is. On Christmas Eve of 2009, he made a deal to run for president with George Soros. And we're going to take a look at this. Of course, to, punk all the stupid sheep on the right. The best way to, oppose your opposition is to control it. And that's what you got here. Donald Trump, who has punked so many sheep. And let's take a look at this. And this is Conservative Tribune. All right? And New York Post, 2009, noted that Trump spent Christmas Eve that year at a private party with Soros and liberal Hollywood director Oliver Stone, among others. And while business dealings were likely discussed, blah, 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 blah. Perhaps worse than that, though, is the revelation that Soros essentially bailed Trump out in 2004 with a special high-interest mezzanine loan the real estate mogul needed to construct his Trump Tower in Chicago. Okay. And it goes on a little bit further here. He was going to invest $160 million. Obviously, he's a bad person, okay? And, One World Order, New World Order, Open Society Foundation, which promotes every perverse, sexually deviant a group on Earth, pretty much. And this really is likely the night that Trump was, arranged to be installed as a president. And of course, you got Jared Kushner and his business ties to George Soros. The whole thing is one incestuous New World Order family. And Trump is right in the middle of it. He is one of the main puppets that they control. We got more for you, though. And oh my goodness, doesn't it help to have a friend like George Soros when your ass is in deep shit? And as you can see. And by the way, I called this law firm up a couple years ago. Yeah, it's probably like 3 or 4 years ago now. And, this is the real deal. This was squashed because, the CIA, George Soros, the New World Order, and otherwise, you can see. Well, RICO lawsuit was filed against both of these scum. All right. And it was in regards to the GM building. Yes. This is in Chicago. This is the Chicago. But anyway, here you go. More proof that he's owned by not just George Soros, but definitely George Soros and other, well, we're going to get into the Rothschilds here in a minute, who have owned his ass for many, many years. Oh, the sheep are going to love this. Trump's chumps. We got some goodies for you. And let's check out, as American Free Press says, who towers behind Trump. And we're going to find out here in uno momento. Michael Collins Piper done phenomenal work. And, Trump goes way, way back with these people. And, in fact, Resorts International, who Trump ended up buying, was established and controlled by frontmen for the Rockefeller and Rothschild families and their enforcers in the Central Intelligence Agency and the Mossad, of course. All right. Gee whiz, he does go way, way back with these New World Order types. Criminals, I should say. And let's go down here a little further. Resorts evolved from CIA front companies set up in the early 1950s by then CIA Director Allen Dulles. One of the guys involved in the Kennedy assassination. And his close three-term New York governor, Tom Dewey, Rockefeller Republican. They call them Republicans. It's anyway. The front company in question was the innocuously named Mary Carter Paint Company, which operated a national chain of paint stores, but was set up to function as a covert CIA money laundering operation. Okay, so this is going way back, and we're setting the stage for this pedophile and how he was essentially connected with CIA types going all the way back. The company also launched into a lucrative casino gambling enterprises in the Caribbean, where the CIA was quite active during that period, having engaged the Lansky crime syndicate and the widely known plot to topple Fidel Castro. Anyway, so there you go. And this is how Trump bought into it. And let's see, the Spotlight determined that the several principal investors provided the funds and assets for this Mary Carter Paint spin-off venture. And who's involved? Meyer Lansky, David Rockefeller, iOS, the world's largest flight capital conglomerate, Tibor Rosenbaum, who is not only the Mossad's Swiss-based chief financier behind covert arms deals, but, he's really tied at the hip with Lansky. Baron Edmund de Rothschild. And William Mellon Hitchcock, one of the heirs to the Mellon family fortune. So you see that his connections with these New World Order criminals goes way, way back, Jack. And this is where he got his start, Resorts International. And I'm going to put this link here, all the links in this, so Trump's chumps can, go cry when they read it, when they check out each of these links. You've been punked. And, if you want to continue to be punked, you're even stupider than you were, in the beginning. So now you've seen all this information, and you still want to believe this guy is a hero? God, you really need help. You really do. And now we're going to show the extent to which Trump, has been owned by the Rothschilds. Okay, and we already talked a little bit about, the Mary Carter Paint Company, etc., etc. But Trump was tapped out pretty soon after he bought the Taj Mahal casino from Resorts International and couldn't make his debt payments. So enter Wilbur Ross, billionaire bond trader, portrayed by the Illuminati financial media as an independent investor. Yeah. In fact, in 1992, Ross was heading Rothschild Incorporated's bankruptcy advising team, which represented bondholders who were threatening to foreclose on Donald's house of cards. Ross saw how Trump had the ability to sway masses of people, something certainly not missed by his bosses at Rothschild. So he struck a sweetheart bankruptcy deal for Trump, where he would relinquish a 50% stake in his Atlantic City, New Jersey Taj Mahal casino in return for better debt terms and a presidency to be named later. There you go. Rothschild and their City of London partners in crime not only got a new East Coast money laundering center in Atlantic City, they now had their straw man, Trump, by the balls. And they also had all the idiot sheep, Trump's chumps, by the balls, too. And, oh my goodness, here, look at this. Now, later, Ross would partner with, Jared Kushner in buying commercial properties in New York through Invesco. Jared married Trump's daughter, Ivanka, who prior to that had been dating Lord Jacob Rothschild's son, Nat. And, this is something they used to do, in the days of royalty. They would try to marry their son or daughter off to, a richer or more powerful king's, daughter or son. So this is what he was trying to do there. She didn't cut it for the Rothschilds. So, she converted to, that wild Judaism cult, that Kushner also belongs to, and married him. I call her kind of a Stepford daughter or Stepford wife, if you remember that old show. So, of course, none of this is ever named or talked about by the left or the right, anybody else, because it's supposed to be a secret. The dumb sucker sheep aren't supposed to know about it. And it is just so pathetic to see how many of these, Trump supporters, they'd be against the vaccine, but they're for Trump, the father of the vaccine. They've really lost their minds and their ability for critical thinking. I've talked about that before, but there you go. There's Donald Trump for all of his chumps, all right? Owned to the max in every which way possible, blackmailable in every way possible for all the child rape cases that he had to settle. And you still want to be his supporter, huh? What is wrong with you people? I mean, really, what is wrong with you people?